Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. I'm your host, comedian Tracy Carnazzo, joined by my co-host, Noelle Herzog.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey, Noelle. Thanks so much for being here. This is episode 60 of 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk, and we're here to talk about season 4, episode 5.
I have to tell you, I love this season.
This is great. This is really great. I apologize to anyone. I'm having a coughing fit. I had a little piece of celery.
Yeah, it's very celery.
It was a very, very fibrous, and it tickled me on the way down. And I haven't known what to do with myself ever since.
Yeah, you've been struggling.
I'm on the struggle bus right now.
That's okay. It's going to get better. You're just irritated.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's start off by just saying, guys, thank you so much for listening in these hard, weird times of the world ending. I really appreciate it. And if you guys could please go to patreon.com/Trash Talk Podcast and you could join our Patreon. It would support the podcast and, you know, we can give you so much more content. There are over 100 episodes of bonus content on the Patreon and it's just so amazing. And you get into a secret group, you get some free merch. So check it out. Go to patreon.com/Trash Talk Podcast.
You guys will love it.
Really, they're going to love it so much. They could join our secret group. It's like the best.
That's my favorite part.
Best experience in the world. And I also have another podcast, if you guys are super bored, called Only in New York, hosted by myself, Hemda from Keith and the Girl, and Andrea Allen from the Hot Mess Comedy Hour.
It's
and Noelle
hilarious.
Thank you so much. Noelle and I also have a podcast called Teen Mom Trash Talk, if you didn't know about that. So there are just so many ways of listening to Noelle and I for hours and hours and hours, and you're going to get sick of us, but you're going to love it.
I think you'll love it.
They will. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Avery and Ash.
Did this start off like the way you knew it would start off?
Yeah, of course.
You know, it was like, come
nothing's
on.
wrong. They really like each other. She's pretty. He's cute. And, you know.
Right. They're in bed together.
It's going to happen.
Right.
So they're in bed together. They wake up together. He says that they had a really good connection. They did a lot.
I was going to say she couldn't resist her sexy man.
Right. They did a lot of connecting.
Yeah. And
they connected a lot. They connected her lady part with his man part.
Yeah, everything about it is just, it's creepy.
Very
I don't
connecty.
know. Yeah.
So now today they're going to meet his brother. And she's mad that his brother didn't want her to stay with them.
I wouldn't have wanted to stay with him.
Why would she have wanted to stay with him and his brother?
But that's what I mean. I feel like it's so awkward. You're meeting one person for the first time. You want to meet another person too?
Why would some guy want his brother to bring his girlfriend that not even he met into their house?
I would
to stay there.
I wouldn't want to bring her to my house, even if it was just my house.
Right.
How do I know
it's
you're
very,
not a
very
wacko?
strange.
Yeah.
Well, they're both wackos.
Right.
So,
right.
And Tish is his brother, and he's very skeptical. So she starts having a conversation with Ash, and she's like, "Listen, when I meet your brother, can I drink?"
Okay. I saw this part and I thought of you.
Yeah.
Right? What didn't it annoy you?
Yeah, it annoyed me really bad because it's like, why? So he's like, "Do you really need a drink?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to really need a drink."
Right. And then she's like, "I want to be my authentic self." And it's like, stop.
Like a drunk?
Right. Your authentic self is a drunk. Is that what that means? Like, what does that mean?
Ridiculous. She's like, "Listen, well, I smoke and I drink and he doesn't and his brother doesn't. So guess what? If you want to make a nice impression, can you go through one meal without drinking?"
Okay.
No.
Honestly, Tracy, a lot of people can't.
Well, that's a big red flag. So it's still the first day. This is like the longest first day ever.
Yeah.
And he shows her the city and they're having such a good time. Connection. I wonder if he made her meditate in the water with him.
Maybe because he's full of fluff. As you would say, he's full of baloney. But
He is
maybe
full of bullpippy.
He's full of bullpippy.
So they're at this Italian restaurant, right? Because they're going to meet his brother. And what he really needs to do is he needs to stop at the endocrinologist.
Girl, I thought the same thing.
And he needs to get his thyroid checked immediately.
That's what it is, right? It's a thyroid thing.
I think so. I think his eyes are going to pop out of his head.
Because my old neighbor had that, and it was her thyroid. And I was thinking this has to be his thyroid.
It has to be.
Yeah.
So his brother doesn't trust her because they've broken up 3 times before.
Oh, this remind you of Robert and Annie when they went out with Robert's brother last season?
Robert's brother was definitely meaner.
Yeah, I just feel like it was so like, oh, okay, you have to meet a family member and he's not going to be nice to you. Like, oh, it's so cliche, you know?
Yeah, but this is the formula of 90 Day Fiance.
That's true. You're right.
So the brother doesn't trust her. So now she says to this is such a strange interaction.
Mm-hmm.
She says to the brother, Antish, she goes, "Hey, have you ever eaten here before?" And he goes, yes, I have. And she goes, interesting.
Yeah, it's like, what does that mean?
I don't know what that meant.
Yeah,
at
me
all.
Me either.
So she orders
Right.
an extra dirty martini with vodka.
Here's the thing. Why don't you order not just a water, but if you wanted to drink something, order a glass of wine?
Yeah, just like be normal. And so she makes like such a big deal out of this martini. And then she's like, he says to her, Ash goes, "Oh, that sounds so good.
Gross.
I think I'll have one."
Right.
What sounded so good about it? It wasn't like a delicious passion fruit and mango spritzer.
That's the thing. She didn't even explain it. She was just like dirty. And he's like, oh, that sounds delicious. Like, I don't even, like a regular person wouldn't know what a dirty martini even meant if you didn't drink.
Because he apparently he used to drink. So he gets one too. And then the brother is like, I think that, she's a bad influence on her. Him.
I kind of get where he's coming from, though.
Because he's like, my brother usually doesn't drink, and here we are.
Right.
So now Antish starts interrogating her and is like, hey, so I heard that you're a whore. Do you think that you can stay with my brother? And she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you've had other relationships. And she's like, right.
Right. Like, I'm a grown-ass woman.
And he's like, well, do you think you could stay with him? And she's kind of like, yeah, I didn't want to not stay with the other guys either.
Right. I don't know what he was like getting at. I think it was because she has kids.
I guess so. So now he brings up the ghosting and is like, well, how am I supposed to trust you? Why did you go dark on him?
But it's more like just give me, I mean, if it's me, I'm just saying like, give me a chance. Like, stop coming at me this way.
There's a very interesting thing that happens here at this end of this conversation. So basically, Antish brings up that Ash has a son and says, how do you think this is going to work, with him having his son? And she said, well, he told me that everything would be fine with his ex.
Right.
Meaning that he could take his son to America.
Right.
And Antish goes, I think they should drink some more.
I mean, okay. So do you think that means that he never spoke to his ex about it and this is all BS, or he just didn't tell Antish about it?
I think that he is not being forthcoming with his conversations with his ex, because remember when she said that she wanted to come here, she said, I really want to meet your ex. And he says, I'll try to arrange
Right.
that.
I'll try to make that happen. Right. Or I'll try to arrange that. Right.
Right. Instead of saying like, oh, yeah, of course you would meet my ex.
And you would think that he would want them to meet, since if he moved to America with his son, she would be the stepmother of his son.
Right. Like, okay, listen. I don't know a lot of mothers that would be like, oh, yeah, you could take him.
No shot in hell.
I mean, it's not like he's 21.
But also, it's not like he's going to, like, Jersey, know?
Right. Well, he might be going to Jersey.
Well, that's true. But yeah, like, he's going really friggin' far.
He's going the furthest you can go.
Yeah. That's sad. And it's also like, what's he going to do? Then, like, is he going to want to fly alone to go back home and see his mom? Like, I get it. It's so many things.
Is he going to go back home? But is he really going to be allowed to come here? That's
I
the
don't know.
thing.
I don't know.
That seems a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Speaking about a little bit strange, let's talk about Ed and Rose.
Tracy, my opinion of all of this has changed from this episode.
Okay. Also, though, did we drop the Mary? Is it not Rosemary anymore?
He just calls her Rose. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess we dropped the Mary. I guess the Mary was the formal part.
I guess she's not Italian anymore.
No, she's a Spanish woman.
Uh-huh.
So he snapped at her. Right. in because he was hangry basically.
Right, but she wants him to lose his tired.
Yeah, you just lose it.
Just lose your tired.
Lose your hot. It's funny because she speaks very, very good English. She understands everything.
She really does. Like, I have no idea where she learned to speak such a good English. She speaks really good.
It's really great. Probably online talking to scamming Americans into trying to marry her.
True that.
So he took her to get her nails done for the air conditioning.
Right. So basically they're both going to go get mani-pedis because it's cool in there.
Okay. Again, Ed, I feel you. Same. He's like, ooh, it's just so nice and cool inside.
He's like, I feel the fan on me.
I loved it. Was this not me though?
No, it was. It's great.
So he's talking about now this is where the word salad comes in. So if you guys haven't heard us say this phrase before, it just means you say nothing, but you say everything.
You say all of the words, but you're not saying anything.
Sure. So he's like, you have a lot of Facebook friends.
Right.
And she's like, He's like, are any of those Facebook friends your ex-boyfriends? And she goes, no, I blocked my ex-boyfriends on Facebook.
Right.
So he's like, so they were your Facebook friends at one time.
But that's what I mean. I don't understand this conversation.
And she's like, what? I don't have my ex-boyfriends currently on my Facebook. And he's like, no, you don't understand me.
And he's like, it must be right. Like, I don't know if Rose is lying to me or if it's because like we're a language barrier. And it's like, no, you're not making sense.
Yeah. The language barrier is that, Ed, you're not speaking English well.
Well,
that is the language barrier.
So she has 4,000 Facebook friends. And he's basically saying, like, are any of them your exes? And she's like, no, I blocked my exes. So, like, I don't get, like, I thought maybe you could explain this because I'm like, am I missing something here? Okay.
I think, to be honest with you, and I'm not even trying to call him old for his age. He's just being, like, old for Facebook. Like not internet savvy kind of thing.
I get that. Like Yolanda. Like, he slid into my DMs, you know?
Right. Like, she's going back to the gram.
Yeah.
So he's claiming that she lied and she just didn't.
No, she didn't lie. I just think that she didn't understand what he meant because I didn't understand what he meant.
No one understood. He's not speaking English very well. So he's blaming the language barrier. And she's like, listen, I don't even know what you're asking me, but it's only you. You're the only guy I'm talking to.
Shouldn't that be enough?
So he's like, yeah, but tell me about your past. And she's like, I don't want to talk about my past. I just want to talk about our future. And he's like, yeah, but I don't know how many relationships you've had.
Right.
She's like, okay. So he's afraid that she would come to the U.S. and then leave him.
Right.
Because she had a boyfriend before.
That's what I mean. I feel like he's not like being clear about what he wants to know. And he's kind of just like, tell me about your past. But she's also like, I don't want to talk about my past. But also you're not asking her anything in particular anyway.
Right. Like, okay. If you should have said like, so what was your last relationship like and why did it end?
Right. And when did you block him from Facebook?
Right. Like, she probably thinks he's asking her like, you know, how many chickens used to live in your house? Like, painful things.
Right.
So they go out to eat. They go to a Japanese restaurant. And, you know, they get the chopsticks. They get a menu. That is like a small novel. It's like the Bible.
He says that he's going to put the chopsticks in his mouth, too.
In his nose.
Like a walrus. Oh, I'm thinking like in his mouth, in like his walrus.
Yeah, he needs to not do any of that. I was like, if he's going to put his chopsticks in his nose, I'm shutting the show off. So he tells her that he wants her to take an STD test. And he's like, you might not know what STDs mean. It means that you're a whore.
Oh my God.
Do you want to take this test?
and she's like, and then she hits him back with like, well, I'll take it if you take it, basically.
Well, first she's disappointed. She's super hurt.
Right.
And why is he making this about her past though? So now I don't think it's a crazy thing to get STD tested if you're with someone new.
Not at all.
you could say like, before we are physical with each other, I would like us to both get tested just so that we know that we're not passing anything back and forth.
Totally agree.
Does he what is like if you had a boyfriend, do you get herpes because you had a boyfriend?
I don't know. I can't tell if I feel like he's trying to use this STD to get her to talk about her past. Like none of this makes much sense to me.
I know, and she's getting triggered because he's being like not nice to her.
Right. Like, and he's expecting her to be like super submissive and she's not having it.
No, she's being a person. And I got to tell you, she was triggered in the scene and I was triggered in the scene because the white rice had black sesame seeds on it.
And you would have just blown up right there.
I am allergic to sesame seeds. So please, TLC, if you're listening to this, stop showing them. They really do trigger me. So he finally says, okay, fine. I will take an STD test, just not in this filthy country. I mean, he doesn't say that, but he does say that.
He's like, I don't trust taking it here, but you could take it here, but I'm not going to take it here.
I feel like, if they screw up your veins and you die of some kind of blood poisoning, that's fine. But just not me.
But I'm not
I would like to go to Clean America.
Maybe he is a lot like you.
Oh my God. But Noelle, I was very distracted. She had two very poppable pimples on her forehead.
I was staring at them the whole time.
I was like, Rosemary, can I just pop the pimple?
Rosemary. It's so funny. Rosemary.
That's what I call her. That's what me and her, that's how we call each other.
Oh, is that her house name?
Yeah, that's her house name. I call her Rosemary. So he gets up and he goes, I need some air. And what he means is he needs less air because he's going to go outside.
And this guy still hasn't showered from his sweat fest early in the day.
I know. He still has mayonnaise dripping out of his hair.
Oh, God. Mayonnaise goes so bad in the sun, too.
Yeah, well, it's bad. She's crying. He goes to get less air. And she basically is like, I don't know if he's calling me like an easy girl or a dirty woman.
Right.
He's like, but I'm not loving this.
And she's like really crying. I felt bad for her. She was like sobbing.
Yeah, she wasn't kidding. So she said that she wants to go home on her own, but she got crazy eyes.
Oh, no. She went like full on The Ring on him,
She did. She went ash eyes on him.
So she's telling him basically is telling him like, I'm hurt. Like I'm angry, I'm hurt. I feel like you're thinking low of me, and like he's not understanding, and he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing because he has no remorse. He just wants to know what he wants to know. That's it.
Yeah, he won't stop.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. And then he's like, okay, then what about Prince's dad? And it's like, well, if that's what you wanted to know, why didn't you just ask her to begin with?
Yeah, but why do you not ask her when she's crying in the street?
But also, why don't you ask her when you're still in America? Wouldn't you guys have spoken about this already?
Right. Why don't you say like, I do want to be Prince's dad because obviously.
Right.
But, like what about his actual dad? Like,
right.
What does he think? So she said that Prince's dad has basically moved on, is married with kids. And that's what she was saying. She was like, he's married, he has kids, we separated and then he got with someone else, basically.
Right. Like they have no contact.
Right. So she said that she had 2 boyfriends since that, and she doesn't want any other boyfriends, and that was it. It didn't work out.
Right. And then he's like, that's all you had to tell me.
Okay, but that's all you had to ask me.
But also, you didn't have to push me. How about wait until we're in the hotel room to have like a quiet conversation? I don't know.
Like a normal conversation. Like, listen, I can't wait to meet Prince, and I can't wait to like be his dad. But like, what about his OG dad?
Right. Does anybody help you financially with him?
Sure. Like something.
Right.
So she's like, listen, I am getting out of here because I hate you. Mm-hmm. So he does the right thing, and he gets her a hotel room, and he found one like 10 minutes away from where they were, and she said that she's going to go home in the morning. So that's where we leave off, but I don't think this is the end.
Listen, I don't think it's the end, but I think it just upsets me because I still don't think he feels bad about any of this.
No, he thinks that she's wrong. He's like, listen, I'm American. I'm better. He has like that kind of attitude.
Okay, but that's my whole problem. Like, he's looking down at her. Like, so many times he said, oh, I bet you've never been to a hotel. You've never done this. Like, look at what I'm doing for you. And it's just so like degrading.
Yeah, but meanwhile, he didn't even know that she used to live on a yacht and hem pants full of tree frogs. He doesn't know anything about her.
Oh, God, Tracy, I just choked on my soda. That was funny.
Don't choke. Don't choke.
Okay.
You might choke now, though, because we're going to talk about your favorite couple, Lisa and Usman.
I'm so triggered by her.
I'm triggered by her accent.
Oh, I'm triggered by her accent, all right, but I'm triggered by a lot more than that, too.
He's eating some spicy breakfast food and in their fancy hotel. Now, she's definitely paying for that hotel.
100%.
And she's so excited because she gets to see Soulja Boy perform. Because remember, that's his alter ego.
Right. He's a totally... Usman and Soulja Boy are two different people.
Two different people. So he wants her to know that the fans are going to fall all over him.
Oh, God. And she's so anxious about it, too.
So he's going to take her for a surprise now.
They get in a Benz, by the way. Excuse me.
They get in a Mercedes-Benz. I mean, listen, granted, it's in 1981.
No, I get it. It's from like the year I was born, right? But like, it's still, they're getting in a Benz. They're in a nice hotel. I mean, she's not doing so bad.
So they pull up to, it looks like a converted house that has been converted into a gift and card store.
So it's a bodega, basically.
She's like, ooh, a gift and card store.
She's like, what? Baby love, what is this, baby love? It's like, shut up.
And he's like, baby love, I show you. And he takes her to the back alleyway upstairs on the back porch. And he says, it's here. This is where I recorded it. And she's like, oh my God, this is where he cut the beat.
Oh, it's so gross. Everything about this is so gross.
So the video director comes and she's very mad at him because he used a model instead of using her image in the clouds.
First of all, she wanted him to act like she was dead in the video, basically.
A tribute.
Here's a tribute video to dead baby girl Lisa.
To my dead white baby Lisa. So in the new video that he made them cut, they took out the model. So what do you think that conversation was like? Can you be Usman and I'll be... Well, actually, you be the video director and I'll be Usman.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So the video director, what was his name? I forgot his name. Anyway.
Okay. No, I don't know his name. Okay.
Okay. So I'm Usman.
Okay.
Hey, listen, I need you to edit out that model that we had come in for days and days and days and days to shoot the music video.
Why?
Because I have to get to America.
So what does that have to do with the video?
Okay, so here's the thing. I need to be the king of hip hop and R&B in America. So what I need you to do is I need you to edit out the model because she's not this crazy white woman that I am literally riding like a raft to America.
Guys, I'm sorry if I just
if
blew
you could
out
just
your ears.
edit her out. Listen. Oh, it's gonna be 37 more hours of your time.
Yeah, it's gonna be 37 more hours of my time. And also, what am I supposed to tell the model that was in the video?
You tell the model that I need to go to America.
But I don't want any part of this. This is my art. I don't want any part of this now.
Well, I need to go to America, so this is what you have to do.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to throw myself off this balcony of this gift and card store. And I'm going to smash myself across the pavement.
Oh, God.
So the director wants no credit anymore.
Yeah,
he's out. He's like, listen,
upset.
I'll do it, and then don't put my name on it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He wants like nothing to do with any of this. And she's such a nasty bitch to him too.
She really is. But you know what I really liked?
What?
So the video director is talking in front of her in their language.
Right.
And he calls her the Queen of Queens, meaning like that she's a nasty, nasty thing.
Right. Meaning like she thinks who she is. Right.
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 Exactly. And Usman goes to Lisa, did you hear what he said about you? He called you the Queen of Queens.
She's like, what does that mean?
He's like, it means that you're like Fran Drescher. Actually, we're the queens of queens.
Yeah. No, he's like that. It's a compliment. And then he goes and tells the camera like, well, I didn't tell her, what he really said. And it's like, do you think she's not going to watch the show?
Usman, you're on a television show.
Right.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So he said that it's really bad for his career to keep editing out this whole music video.
Yeah, I mean, I think she is gonna, not that he has some banging career, but I think that she's really bad for his career.
Yeah, she is bad for his career, but you know what else is bad for his career?
What?
His music. It's not really helping out.
No, it's not
they're
great.
they're gonna go to a local bar to meet a celebrity friend.
Right. His name is Abba.
Abba, right? So Abba S-Boy.
Right. Yes. I thought it was Abba's boy. That's what I wrote down. But Abba's S-Boy.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. So he's a musician and he's a movie actor.
Oh, he's a lot of things. All right.
Yeah, he's a movie actor. You know, like when you introduce someone and you're like, this is a movie actor.
Yes. Tracy is a stage comedian.
I'm a stage comedian. So she explains that Usman and Soulja Boy, two different people. Mm-hmm. And she tells them about the edited video.
Right.
And he says a love song without a video hoe, basically, is like tea without sugar.
It just doesn't work.
Right. So she doesn't want his friend to speak anymore.
Right. She's saying it takes away from the concept of the video. And it's like, what are you talking about?
I think that, to be honest with you, I think they're all mentally ill.
Well, no, they're definitely all mentally ill because she says that in America, they shoot love songs without a model. In America.
She doesn't even, but no one even knows what they're talking about.
Right. It's like, what are you even saying? And she's boiling.
This is a music video that he's independently produced. He probably paid $17 to $18 for it. It's going to be seen nowhere except for the viewers of 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, it was shot on a BlackBerry probably.
So, yeah, please stop. Please stop. So now he hates her. This guy, Abba S-Boy, hates her and will not come to the video premiere and says, have a nice flight back to America.
Yeah, he was mad. And you know what? It's like they're trying to get someone that kind of like Angela-esque, but Angela was like fun at least. Like there's nothing fun about this woman.
No, she's not. So Lisa leaves and she tells whoever she's talking to when she leaves, she says that producer is nothing.
Right.
She was super mean to him. And now Usman said he's super embarrassed because she was not acting the way a woman is supposed to act.
I mean, I wouldn't really put it that way. I think she was just acting like an asshole.
Right. She wasn't acting the way a human should act.
Yeah, no, she was acting mean. And I think that she talks down to people. I hate the way she speaks to people.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
So let's move on. Let's go to David.
Listen, David is from Vegas and he has boobs like Colty did.
You know, there's something wrong with this Vegas area.
There is. Something is not okay. Between his toupee that I can't stop looking at because
What do you mean? Are you sure that's a toupee?
Tracy, I wasn't sure. And now that you said it, I can't stop. I was looking at his Facebook page and looking at old pictures of him, and his hair has been the same way since 85.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's very funny.
You know who I think did his wig?
Who?
Maury.
Maury's wigs.
Maury's wigs don't fall off. Just saying, if anyone gets that. So he goes to buy an engagement ring. Now, I got to tell you, I did not like him before. I hate him way more now. Talk to me.
Okay. So he goes to get her an engagement ring. He goes to this very nice gentleman. Number one, he doesn't know her ring size. Okay. That's number one. So he tells the jeweler, hey, I need a ring. I've never met her before. The spiel. You know, I spent all this money talking to her online. So he spent all this money talking to her online. This guy is thinking oh, he's about to ball out and buy a diamond. And then he's like, I'm going to get a fucking 3-cent commission on a cubic zirconia is what's going to happen. This poor jeweler.
He goes, I would like something less than a diamond.
Right. As long as it sparkles, use a gel pen.
I would just glitter and some Elmer's glue. And he's like, what size do you think a mail order bride would be? And he's like, I don't know, maybe a 6?
She has very small hands.
So he's been engaged 2 times before, but the women were not ready for the commitment.
No, neither time.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was engaged to Americans though, so that's better. I
mean,
guess
that could be part of the problem. I don't know. Did he buy them diamonds? Did he buy them glitter?
Yeah, seriously. So he cannot believe in 24 hours he's going to meet her in person.
He shouldn't believe it because it's not going to happen.
Guess what? I don't believe it. You don't believe it. Everyone listening doesn't believe it.
Listen, when he was packing, right? And he was like, I'm going to bring my GPS. I was very confused by this.
Well, he's been there before, so he knows what he needs.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm like not thinking like, oh my God, the car. So I'm like bringing a GPS. Is this guy a moron? What does he need to bring a TomTom with him? Little do I realize that I'm the idiot here. But yeah, so I know that's what my mom calls it. But and then he grabs the massage oils and he went full on Caesar creepy.
Yeah, but he's an expert.
Ew, gross.
But but that's like, no, Noelle, you have to understand something. Okay, please excuse me. But that's like, okay, for example, I am an expert podcaster, right? So when I travel, I bring my podcast equipment.
Okay.
He's an expert masseuse, so he brings his massage oil. It's just his trade.
Gross. That's gross, Tracy.
Yeah, but he's not expecting intimacy, so that's fine.
So he's just going to lube her up, but not expect intimacy.
So he's 10 years celibate, and he says that out loud, and his cats just look at him. So big giant white teeth, aka Jim, comes over to take him to the airport.
Biggest teeth I've ever seen.
I think what happened was God came down and was like, Jim, you have a choice. Would you like an upper lip or big giant white teeth?
And he's like, big giant white teeth, obviously.
And he's like, okay, but you're not going to have any upper lip.
And he's like, whatever.
That's fine.
They go up to the bottom of his nose. They do. They're huge.
So Jim starts pointing out the red flags.
Right.
And David, who, I mean, I guess we didn't really think about this. He said it's just different this time.
Oh, all right. So then that makes total sense.
So after 24 hours of traveling, he probably connected 12 times. Him and Anya meet up because they're just friends.
Right.
So she meets him at the airport because she is literally LOLing at him.
Oh, I almost think she feels bad for him. Like, this poor guy.
I don't know, man. So he said that there were no sparks when they met each other. She said that too.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, okay, but why am I here and she's not? And he's like, oh, she's on a train to come meet me. She's rollerblading here.
Right. She's rollerblading. Was she holding on to the back of the train?
She's skitching here.
It's 10-hour train ride. Like, you couldn't spring for a flight for her?
You couldn't fly somewhere different?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very confusing.
So Anya, his friend, is like, yeah, I mean, I get it. He's really old with money.
Right, pretty much. But he could only buy her a cubic zirconia.
Sure. So now he has his GPS, his TomTom, if you will. And it's so helpful to have it because, he's in the car, he's driving, and it's like, turn left on.
And it's probably spelled with like all these R's backwards.
Yeah. And you're like, what does that even mean? How would I know that?
Yeah, I don't know. Now I understand why he brought the GPS, though.
Not helpful.
No.
So he's telling Anya that he's going to propose and that they already talked about the K-1 visa process and how he needs to get pictures with her now because if he doesn't get pictures with her this time, he can't apply for the K-1 visa. I bet you he photoshops pictures of them.
I guess. I don't know. He said that Lana is super eager to file for it, too. So, like, what is going to happen? I just don't know.
I don't know, but all I know is he goes back to his hotel room with all his toilet paper, and God knows what happens.
I was going to ask you about this toilet paper. Why the hell did he bring toilet paper with him?
It's like he's preparing for the coronavirus.
Yeah. Everyone on this show is preparing.
I know. Speaking of preparing for the coronavirus, let's talk about Stephanie. She is waiting online to get on the plane, waiting to board, and she's like, well, as soon as I sit down, I'm going to take my mask off.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't know about any of this.
Stephanie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't the mask for the flight?
Right. So it
was just for standing in line?
Right. You're just going to wear it in the airport?
Okay. So now we cut to Kelly Osbourne. She's in the Outback. Now, okay, I get that she's Australian, but you have to film her photographing kangaroos in the outback.
I know, but they were so cute.
Oh, they were so cute, but it's like
So
that's
cliche.
that's like just photographing like me walking around Times Square. Like this is my everyday life.
No, I know. That's like an Italian eating spaghetti. Oh, wow. Groundbreaking.
Mamma mia. I don't think she's not cute. I think she's adorable, but her eyebrows are stamped on.
Okay, that's my problem. Like, I think she Sharpies them on.
Yes. Now, she said that she's bisexual and there's not many gay women in the area. I don't think there's a lot of humans where they are.
I don't think there's just a lot of people.
Yeah, because she's hanging out with her friend Claire and Jess. God knows how they even found each other.
So someone in our group sent me a picture and says that it was actually Tyler Baltiera from Teen Mom.
It looked very much like Tyler.
Yes.
They live in the middle of nowhere. They're hanging out in a dirt lot.
Yeah, they're hanging out. She basically made it like they could just bring a chair wherever they want and just hang out anywhere.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just bring a chair to any part of dirt that we want. So her friends are concerned. Oh my God, you mean on 90 Day Fiance, their friends are concerned that they're meeting someone from online?
No way.
All right, well, her parents don't know much about her sexuality, but they assume because they have eyes and they could see.
They could see that she
everything
wears
about her.
rainbows head to toe.
Right. They're like, she might be gay.
Maybe a little.
So they're getting a hotel though, right?
Right.
So now Stephanie just landed. She had to have 3 flights and it took her 30 hours to get there.
That's
and
a
she's
nightmare.
A nightmare.
Yeah.
She's seen so many germs and so many sick people.
Tracy, how did you feel about that?
What does that mean? What did you see?
Right. That's what I want to know. What
Were
did
you flying
see?
on a hospital plane?
That's exactly what she did. She flew. She was a nurse on the plane.
Okay, so now let me ask you this.
Okay.
I am dying of some kind of crazy thing where if I catch a cold, I'm dead.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I pay for your flight to come see me?
Yeah. That's what I think. Right?
Yeah, I'd rather pay the money to you for you to come here, even if you can afford it.
But that's what I mean. I feel like they do a lot of things on the show for dramatics, but this is like dangerous.
This is a little bit much.
Yeah.
Okay, so also she said that she doesn't feel cute, and I'm going to tell you why she doesn't feel cute.
Tell me.
She's wearing a wrap dress. You can see her Spanx, and she's wearing sneakers with it.
Okay. I saw her Spanx, and I felt very sad for her.
I did too. Also, that dress I literally wore. I was 12 years old. It was Easter.
Here's the thing. She's so cute. Why did she wear that?
I don't know, because she's so pretty.
I know. She's stupid pretty. It's not even fair. She's very pretty. After 30 hours to still look like that, it was unbelievable.
I know. So Erica came to the airport and brought her pineapple cookies.
How cute.
Adorable. I know you love that because you were like, oh, I wish I was going there. I would totally eat those cookies.
I would totally eat the pineapple cookies, but they're cute. But here's the thing. All they do is like giggle. Like
right.
all they're doing is like giggling, like, oh, we like each other, giggle, giggle, giggle. Like, what's happening?
I guess she just wants to brush her teeth before she gives her a smooch.
Oh, no, I get it. Because she was like, oh, I don't know if I want to kiss her. I wouldn't want to kiss somebody right off a flight, like after 30 hours. No
Gross,
way.
don't touch me.
Ew.
Okay, so let's talk about Yolanda, which is like one sentence.
Yeah, they're not showing much of Yolanda.
Okay, well, here's the dirt on you. First, let's talk about what happened. Then we'll talk about the dirt.
Okay.
So Williams says he contacted her and was like, oh my God, I don't know what happened with my Instagram. I can't get in.
I'm shocked. That's how it went down.
Yolanda's shopping with her friend Kim. And Kim's like, I don't know, Yolanda. I have a bad feeling. I'm pretty skeptical about this.
Right. Hello?
And Yolanda's like, he's as upset as me.
No, he seems like really upset. He seems like a really good person.
No, everything's fine. Okay, so here's the dirt on Yolanda.
Tell me.
People are saying that, you remember how like everyone was saying that Caesar was scamming us too?
Yeah.
So people are saying that Yolanda is scamming us too, and she already has a weight loss book out.
Stop it.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't like that because I feel like she's so sweet and I want to like her, but I also feel like, come on, you're not that dumb either.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, speaking of dumb, let's talk about Geoffrey and Varya.
Listen, Tracy, I just want to say this. He, having nothing to do with his past, he makes me uncomfortable.
There's something very uncomfortable about him, but there's also something very uncomfortable about her.
She is off, but I because I can't figure out what's off about her. Like what
It's her
end
angle.
game is.
She's trying to scam him.
But that's the thing. Is she?
Yes.
Okay. I think
Yes.
that's what it is. I can't figure out if she's really trying to scam him or she's just a wacko.
Both
Okay.
of those things are true.
Okay.
All right, so they wake up in her apartment. There's no blinds. They've slept on a futon. And she's like, what, no good?
I feel like that's like your worst nightmare.
I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, Geoffrey, run. Geoffrey, go home. Geoffrey, get a hotel room.
Yeah.
She's like, what's the problem? He's like, I don't know. I'm not used to sleeping on a bed of nails made of concrete in the scalding, scorching sun. And she's like, oh, well, that's you.
Because I think this is great.
Yeah. So she's taking him to In a Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's a Russian place.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Well, he's acting super weird because now he's not sure of her intentions. All of a sudden, he's like, wait a minute. She lives in Russia?
Me? Right.
Is she Russian?
Does she live in another country? Did I have to fly to get here?
I'm so confused. I thought, okay. So he's acting super weird. And he's saying that all of a sudden the puzzle pieces are fitting together. He's like, wait a minute. She reached out to me on an international dating site.
Right.
And she's like, listen, here's the deal. You ever hear the story of the Frog Prince? She's like, you're gross.
Right.
Let's keep moving.
But I'll kiss you anyway. Right.
And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't even understand that story. But here's the thing. These guys, right? They all go on international dating sites to meet women in other countries. But then they're shocked that the women in other countries have spoken to other men in America.
Noelle, they have 10 Russian women friends at home saying she is scamming you. I literally scammed this man sitting next to me to get here. And that is how I know that she's also scamming you. I know her. She is my sister.
I grew up with her.
And she is scamming you. And he's like, I don't think so.
No, I think you're wrong. I think she's different.
So, okay, he's meeting her friends today. This is the craziest scene.
Yes.
So they go to this nice restaurant and they sit down with her friends.
Right.
And her friend, first, right off the bat, her friend's like, yeah, Americans aren't sincere. They smile, but they're lying behind their smile.
Yeah, they're not like that nice.
So they ask him what he does, and he's like, well, I'm a landlord. P.S. Wasn't that Russian lady that he knew one of his coworkers?
Yeah, so I guess she's a fellow landlord.
She's a landlordess?
Or she rents from him, maybe.
Maybe. So they want to know about his ex.
Right.
And he's like, what? Hi, I'm Geoffrey.
Oh, you mean
he's
Con Air?
Mrs. Con Air, the heir to the Con Air fortune? Her?
What about her?
They're like, well, are you serious about her? About Varya? And he's like, yes. And they're like, you're wrong. So they're like, how do we know we could trust you to be with her forever? And he's like, hello, my name is Geoffrey. What?
Right. And he's like, I flew here. And they're like, so what?
Yeah. They're like, so what? Show us that you are going to be with her forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Her friends need to back off.
Yeah, they seriously need to back off. They're
crazy.
Nasty.
So now the craziest friend doesn't speak English and is trying to tell Geoffrey that she talks to other American men and had another American boyfriend before him. So she's like basically using like code language. She's like drawing like a stick figure on the table with an American flag in his hand and like pointing to her.
Tracy, watching this, the back of my neck was like getting hot. I felt so
She's
anxious.
like, American man before you, American man before you. And then he goes, oh, what is she saying? And she's like, oh, nothing important.
Nothing. She's saying hello.
She's saying, I really like my friend's haircut that's sitting across the table from me.
Tracy, that haircut.
So now the crazy man with the haircut, he looks like he should have on lederhosen. He is just the most awful, this guy.
That guy. And I'm watching him too, and I'm like, what's going to happen with this guy?
So now Geoffrey's like, what do you mean you've had American man before me? And his bad hair friend laughs. Everyone else starts laughing. So he looks at Tiny Tim. He makes full eye contact with him. He stands up.
Yep.
And so the man with the bad hair stands up, and then Geoffrey leaves and he's crying.
But here's the thing. The man with the bad hair stood up like, I will kill you. You know? And Geoffrey ran away.
I will leader your hosen.
Yeah.
I will leader all of your... Even that's the wrong country.
Yeah, it is the wrong country.
This man looked like Pinocchio. He had the haircut of Pinocchio.
I've never seen a haircut like that. Literally, his mother put a bowl on his head and cut around it. That's just what happens.
I think that's exactly what happened. Guys, thanks so much for listening to the apocalyptic version of 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. We'll be back next week. Make sure you're following us at 90 Day Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow your host, me, Tracy Carnazzo, at Trixie Tuzini on Instagram and Twitter, and TracyCarnazzo.com. Noelle, where can we find you?
You could find me Noe_bear810 on Instagram or at NoeGirl on Twitter.
Awesome, guys. I hope everyone's doing great. Make sure you're joining our group, 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk listeners. We have so much fun in there. And actually, before we go, I want to tell you, I went live with Jay and Ashley today.
Oh,
on
that's
Instagram.
Fun. How did that go?
Yeah. So Jay was doing a dance, and I requested to be in the video. And Ashley was like, oh, my friend Tracy just requested. So he put me in, and I asked him, I was like, Jay, where's the vacuum? And he's like, what do you mean vacuum?
He doesn't
I was like,
get
Jay,
it.
show me the vacuum.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
That's funny.
We had a good time, though. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.